it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Democrats went down to Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona,
Gotta
and
listen
PA
to
looking
this.
for
This is
votes to
good.
steal. With Biden and the Biden being way behind, with the devil they made a deal. And when they came across this great man winning the election by a lot,
Go ahead,
he
by
said,
a lot.
47 years, it's very clear, Joe, you ain't done diddly squat. Joe put on a lid, then went in ahead and kept his gaff trap shut. He never jumped up on a campaign stump. Boy, let me tell you what, Dems didn't care. They made a dare, an evil plan to screw once again our president, and attempted another coup. Joe said, Donald Trump, you think you're good, but give old Joe his due. I bet Chinese gold against the country so that I get more votes than you. Trump said, I'm the president, and you ain't playing straight. And I'll take your bet you're gonna regret. I'm gonna make America great again. Donnie, rally up your base, your lawyers and bodyguards, cause hell's broke loose with the voting. Maybe it's hammer, maybe scorecard. If you win, you'll get to send to jail, quid pro Joe, so you can lose or socialists take control.
Wow. I'll put the link.
Biden opened up his mouth and said, I'll start this show, and babble flew from his lips. He said, come on, man, you gotta go. He pulled his mask up on his face and
I'll put the
continued
link.
to persist.
I'll put the link in there for you so you can check it out. That's just hilarious to all ends. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you need to see the whole thing, like I said, I'm going to put it the link in with what we're doing tonight. So, all right, how are we doing today? It's November 17th, 2020. Looks like the election's starting to go our way a little bit. My Trump hat's messing up. I don't like that. But anyway, executive order Trump signed back in 2018. Actually, it almost seems like he saw what was going to happen with this election, and he knew that the media was going to jump on board and ride with it. And it sounds like to me he set the trap. The executive order, and let me pull it up for you, but it is, the media is complicit in all this. So if they're complicit in all this, then, they're guilty just as much as they're an accessory to treason or an attempted coup, if that's what you want to call it. But all involved would be an accessory. So did Trump see this ahead of time and kind of plan for this? Well, he signed it in 2018. And to me, that's a pretty good forethought. I don't know. Maybe Nostradamus is, working in the White House now. I don't know. But it seems it's working because they took the bait. That's for sure. They are running with it. And what I'm hearing right out of the gate at 6:19 is Nevada. Check this out now. Nevada has found a way for people to vote internally. Get that. Vote eternally. So that means they can vote forever. Well, it appears 15,000 people had voted in Nevada, and they haven't been alive in a while. Well, that's probably, we're going to hear more stories like that as things progress. This was definitely an attempted coup. There's no doubt about this. Or not a coup, it's still the election. But that is treason. That is a federal offense. And by Trump signing that executive order, anyone who is involved in the cover-up, the manipulation, the propaganda, and so on will be held accountable. That puts the media at risk. So watch what they start reporting. They might start jumping on Trump's bandwagon a little bit to try to take the heat off of him. I don't know. Things should happen this week, though. Sidney Powell, I'm telling you, the lady she is really a ball buster. Apparently, the Federal Election Commission, Todd something Trainer, I think it's Terry Trainer, Todd Trainer, something. Anyway, he says that he has no evidence that what Sidney Powell is saying is not true. That's the Federal Elections Commission, Mr. Trainer. Yeah, I wanted to read something for you guys. The executive order that he signed, let's just do a little quick rundown on it. I figures it'd be the first one. Here we go. All right, so the executive order states, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll leave the link down in the comments. But basically, it was an executive order almost no one covered. Since the day it was signed, President Trump declares a national emergency. Now that emergency is still in play to this day, and the 2020 election was conducted under this state of emergency. Now that is crucial to understand what could come next. So go back and read that. I caught that off of, let's see, got that out of the DC Dirty Laundry, but I've heard it a couple other places. That was just the first one that popped up. I'm still looking for the executive order itself. It's not one to pull up. But basically, it does, say that anyone involved will be held accountable. And fixing election is pretty strong, and it looks like they've done this before. It looks like they did it with Victor Chavez in Venezuela, and it's probably been done, I would say, in Ukraine and other places. So, anyway, that's huge news. Now, that kind of folds into what else is happening. Just to make light of the Dominion voter systems, I downloaded some software, and it was supposed to be something that helps me at the ATM. So here's what I do. I figured if the ATM's under Dominion software and I ask for 200, and it spits out 200 grand or 2 grand or whatever, is that my fault or is that the bank's fault? Just keep that in mind. All right, so the media is really struggling right now. Their panties are in the wad. They don't know what's getting ready to happen. They know they're involved. It's a mess. It really is a mess. And I think Trump set the trap and they took the bait. Basically, is what happened. Now, let's get into what Trump's going after with the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank, which is nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. It was created by J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, and other peoples down in Jekyll Island in 1913. And they named it the Federal Reserve because it confused people to think it was part of the government. There's nothing. It is a private entity. And Trump's going after that because he always said he was kind of like Andrew Jackson, and Andrew Jackson was the last person or last president to take down the state or the central bank here in the United States. It will also explore a lot more swamp creatures because people will start kind of coming to the top and not making statements or whatnot, and that kind of will show you who is kind of worried they might be getting exposed. But that's Trump's main thing is going after the central bank, getting us off the old dollar. All right. Now, I stumbled upon this last night. I don't know how many people want to dig into it or not. I'm not going to dig into it deep. The 5G has been rolling out. Basically, I'm going to leave a link in the Facebook page, GD3 Breaking News on Facebook. There'll be links to everything. But here, check this out. This is a disclaimer now. So I didn't make, this is not my information. Massive microwaves all around us. The more they have to put up towers because of 5G has to be, it has to connect. That's more radioactive waves into the air and into the atmosphere. Now, the pros of having 5G, you got a faster, more space, increased bandwidth, and it just more simpler, make you lazier, basically. To make kids just don't move at all. But the cons, carcinogens, cancer, RF signals are electronic, the same as what runs your body, electronic signals, electrical currents. They're large wavelengths. It affects the skin and the eyes and the nervous system. So it's basically saying don't hold your phone in your hand all day. Don't put it in your pocket. If you're not using it, get it away from you. Tips to help you with this would be distance your phone, your router. You can buy an EMF measuring device that will measure the radioactive wavelength or radioactive signals. Um, let's see what else we got here. And you can put your phone in like a case and stuff like that. Don't carry it in your pocket. That's basically what they're saying. But anyway, that's what I got for you. I'm sure we're going to have a lot more. It looks like things are unfolding down in Georgia. I tell you, it looks like things are really going to take roll in Georgia. But Nevada is in play. I'm excited. Things are. It's not as happening as fast as we like. Everybody wants to see arrests and everything. But if you do it fast, the left will say it was, this, that, and the other thing. You got to give them a little bit at a time. So when the big thing happens, they can digest it. Because they'll say, oh, Trump don't like him, blah, blah, blah. He's going after guilty people. He's going after guilty people. Pedophiles, blackmail, murder. I'm sure there's going to be everything involved. All right, so keep in touch. God bless America. God bless President Trump and his family. Look after everybody. This is going to be a rough couple of weeks, but it's going to be very rewarding when it's all over and said but done. God bless.